Yeah, I have to tell from the beginning, difficult topic, okay? So just listen. If you don't understand, just let me know. This two school debating, So Chitta Mother school and the Madhamika Pasankika school. So first, here is the refutation of the object of the Chitta Mata. What Chitta Mata is negating, right? So Chitta Mata concerning ultimate truth. So Chitta Mata accept true truth, right? Mind is school. So ultimate. So ultimate truth is the viewpoint of emptiness. So what they are negating, Chitta Mata school, right? They are negating external existence. And they are also negating, remember, that negating, they accept emptiness, right? Emptiness is absence of one entity, right? So they are negating mind perceiving object, blue color object, your eye consciousness perceiving blue color is subject, right? So object, subject, generally speaking, one entity, but it appears to our mind different entity. So the object, subject, different entity negating. External existence negating. Understand? So that but there we have three nature, remember? Three nature. Other power nature, thoroughly established nature, imputation nature, right? So other power nature. So now this is the viewpoint of Madhuni school. Now Madhyamika school will not accept this, right? They are not negating external existence, right? They are not negating inherent, they are negating inherent existence. Inherent existence, external existence, all these Pasankika will not accept. Inherent existence is object of negation. So this is so now here mind only school of the mind of Buddhism who maintain that no external objective exists. Does not mean rejecting external object. External object there, but unless mind base of whole, let the imprint and then object exist. If object exists without depend on the mind basis or the imprint left in the mind, then external exists. So they will from them mind is not conditioned by an object of different nature than itself. Rather the mind and its object are one in nature and only nominally distinct. The mind is regarded as true existence. So they accept true existence, inherent existence. They are not rejecting, they are not saying cup is, they accept cup truly exist, inherently exist. If cup does not exist truly, inherently, it does not exist at all. So their viewpoint, like the mind, whereas external objects are denied to establish the true existence of consciousness, they point self-cognition and non-deceived aspect of the mind that as a function of being consciousness of only consciousness itself. Now the Chitta Matra, mind only school, start debating with the middle way Pasangika school. So if no deceived consciousness exists, then what mind can refer to the illusion like appearances? Their question. Madhyamika, Pasangika answer. If illusion like external objects are not real for you, what can be referred to? You understand what I'm saying? Although external objects do not really exist, Chitramatra, no external. External object is no external object exists because it is objectual negation. Therefore, since the image of the object which appears to consciousness are the mind itself, they are suitable to be referred to by consciousness. Then Madhyamika Pasangika respond. If the mind itself and illusion like object are one substances, remember we are talking about mind perceiving blue color object and perceiving mind is subject, one entity. And whenever object appears to us, different entity. So that is ignorance, which obscures the emptiness of the mind of the school. So have to reject subject, object, different entity. So it appears to our mind, whenever we see the object, blue color, it appears to our mind, not one entity with the subject. That makes sense. They give you the analogy of anger. When you mind angry to somebody, then you believe anger coming from the external. Nothing to do with my mind. And you blame 100%, you blame that external object. And that will create all delusions, all create karma. If you believe it, anger and is part of one entity with my mind, everything is finished, no more. There's nothing to do, all subside, no delusion arise, no afflictive emotion arise, because you believe that person who created you anger and your mind, one entity. But you, in our mind, we see enemy is externally appearing to the mind. And then we believe or we blame, whole problem is created by the external object. So that negate. Then you will realize emptiness of the mindfulness school. So if the mind, now the Madhyamika Pasangika is do not accept inherent existence. Okay, Pasangika is middle way. Middle way means understanding emptiness, middle way, right? Middle way. So middle way means cut to extremes. Absolutism and nihilism. You know what I mean? So it means if you negate inherent existence, self completely negate, but at the same time you maintain with the conventional self, then they come to the middle way. You know what I mean? Middle way. If you completely negate inherent existence self, at the same time you maintain holding conventional self very clearly. See your own nature. There's no problem. You know what I mean? That is the Prasangika viewpoint. Rejecting inherent existent self, right? So middle way, okay, middle way means cut two extremes, absolutism and the nihilism. Absolutism is coming from the appearance of the object. Appearance of the object, then we believe object to be exist, very solid, concrete, independently existing from the side of the object. So we are holding that kind of grasping. So grasping mind is exaggerating the object. You know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying? If grasping mind, because the grasping mind is called this mind, what we are holding, fundamental ignorance. It is fundamental ignorance. Fundamental ignorance means it is the root of all our afflictive emotions. When we have this grasping mind, there is no anger, no attachment, no jealousy. The whole root is not understanding the nature of your own reality. So that's the point. Okay. So Prasangika middle way cut the two extremes, right? Nihilism and absolutism. So that Prasangika viewpoint. So now here if the mind itself and illusion like objects are one substance, then since there would be no beholder and no beheld, what object would be labeled by what mind? It has been said by the protector of the world himself that mind does not have the ability to behold the mind, just as the blade of sword cannot cut itself. Blade of sword, cannot cut itself, right? And likewise, mind cannot behold itself. So now this, first we are talking about this topic, right? Ultimate truth, right? Conventional truth. We are talking about the emptiness of the self and emptiness of the phenomena. Two types of emptiness. You all, generally speaking, self, emptiness of self, and emptiness of others, or emptiness of phenomena. Two. So now, according to non-Buddhists in ancient India, right? So they accept the self to be permanent, pervasive, not being kind of like changing and destruction, and not related to the aggregates of the body and mind. According to ancient Indian, the self is something permanent, pervasive, not changing and disintegrating, and not related to our body and mind. That's ancient Indian, Hindi, or many, but Buddhists and cannot accept self like this. Self is related to the aggregates. Aggregates are divided into two. Aggregates, 5 aggregates, right? Divided into body and mind. So aggregates of form, feeling, recognition, karmic formation, consciousness, 5 aggregates. So aggregates are divided into body and mind. So when we say we have innate feeling, this is my body. So it seems to be like, body belongs to the self, you know what I mean? And we have innate feeling like feeling of mind, feeling of emotion, and during that period, mind too belongs to the self. My body, my mind, right? My mind, I'm walking, this is my body. So body is possession belongs to the self. My mind too belongs to my body, my mind. And then when we are feeling like this, my body, my mind, so my body belongs to the self, mind belongs to the self. And then we believe body and mind separate from the self. Separate, my body, my mind, separate from the self. And then we try to search the self among the body and mind, but we cannot find the self. On the other hand, right, if there is no self, then we cannot talk about, I'm feeling good, and I'm pain, I have suffering. We cannot, right? So when we are searching, right? When we are searching the self, we cannot find apart from the body and mind. But still, ourself is functioning, right? So that is clearly indicate self is not independent existence, right? It is not independent existence. If it is independent existence, then cannot exist. So that's the Pasanga viewpoint. What Pasanga viewpoint? First, we have to understand, like what as I mentioned before, right? Then we have to identify the appearance of the inherent existent self. Then number two, then we have to negate the inherent existent self. Number three, conclusion is, then we have to meditate on the absence of inherent existent self. That's the point, So it's very important. First, we have to identify the appearance of the inherent. This is very difficult with Lama Tsongkhapa said. Appearance of the inherent existence self. If we do not accurately recognize this inherent existent self, we may think the idea of your inherent existent self is the object of negation. Idea, inherent existent self should be something like that, This idea. This is not fully understanding of that. So that's why here Lama Tsongkhapa, first I will read the Lama Tsongkhapa's text. Lama Tsongkhapa said, when we start to observe or analyze the I, right, we will have many different kinds of experiences. When we start, to observe or analyze the I, we have so many different types of experiences. Sometimes, I appears as if it is sitting inside our body, shape or color like empty space. Sometimes it will appear in the form of strange shape, color. In other time, only the aggregates appears, such as form, consciousness, feeling, and so on, like 5 aggregates. These are different kinds of feeling, right? My hand, my body, my knees, whatever, we have all different kinds of feeling like that. These are not genuine appearance of the inherent existent self. So we should not rely, these are not appearance, genuine experience of the inherent existent self. So we should not rely experience of these experiences. These are my hand, your idea, my hand, my body, it belongs to me, This one, okay, so this is very and then how it should be, how we should recognize this genuine appearance of what seems to be the inherent existent self. If these are not, then how? Then Lama Tsongkhapa suggests we should not simply follow whatever appears to our mind, but should strictly look at how I appears on the basis of aggregates. My body, my mind, these are not genuine appearance. So what happens is, with your making 2 pinpoint of mind, one mind, mindfulness, one mind watching, like making two kind of mind, mindfulness, holding what is inherent existence, I, and introspection, watching, these two. So that we should strictly look at the appearance of the basis of the aggregates. So for example, I am meditating, I'm walking, I'm meditating, I'm walking, I'm talking, or whatever. If we look to what is happening, we can only find certain activities, right, carry out by our individual aggregates, perform and activities, right? I'm walking, right? I'm meditating. Is that our mind merely impute or label it as I doing so and on? So first aggregates appears, then I appears. Aggregate, right? Aggregate appear first, then body belongs to me, Aggregate appears, then I said, oh, this belongs to me. It belongs to me. I appears first. So aggregate appear first, and then I appear, right? I appear. This I is not something I appear, right? Aggregate appears first, then I appears. My body belongs to me, right? So this I is not something that existing from one side, but it is merely labeled by our own mind, This our own mind merely labeled. But if we keep looking, further, and we will see how the appearance in this imputed I, right, intensify and appears to exist fully from its own side or inherently. So that when this happens, we must aware of it and simply allow one part of mind and watch it. You know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying? Because if we do not accurately identify the appearance of this inherent existent self exactly as it appears to our innate ego mind, then some kind of, we have some kind of inherent existent self will be left or to be grasped at when we later negate inherently existent self we have imagined, or inherent existent self is something like imagine, it's like conceptual mind. When we are identifying no conceptual mind at all, you just experience inherent existent self. This is 100% negate. No way of thinking, you know what I mean? Just as I mentioned before, aggregate appears, but then I appears. So this is not something, this kind of I is not something existing from the side of the object, but it is merely lived by our mind. But when we keep further, looking, then we intensify, I is something existing from the side of the object. If you realize this, simply follow your mind and watch this inherent existent I without thinking, It means by watching this, and then eventually this grasping, holding inherent existence cease, and you will experience emptiness. But as soon as this grasping, holding inherent existence cease, then you will experience emptiness. It's not the idea, You understand what I'm saying? We have imagined. Realizing this kind of emptiness cannot help us to cut our innate ego grasping mind. Therefore, what we have to do is first provoke our innate ego mind within ourselves, and then simply look at this with strong mindfulness and deep concentration, and not impose, free conceptions about the self, not impose. We must carry on this observation of self until we clearly and accurately identifying the appearance of the inherent existent self as grasped it by our innate mind. You understand what I'm saying? So when we say like this, it comes to three points. Like first point is identifying this innate, inherent, existent I or self. So when I'm happy, I'm meditating, nothing happened, This you need to identify this self, you need strong grasping, Grasping. Grasping means somebody have said to you something if somebody blame you and says something very negative, in that period, your eye is strongly grasping on the self. That in that grasping self, it appears to your mind very vividly, independently. You can sometimes pinpoint your finger, something like that, very strongly. Oh, I'm not, like this. And that is, if during that period, right, even happiness happen or whatever, and then that very clear, vivid, strongly grasping on the ego, inner grasping self, that inherent existence self should negate. That is object of negation. Have to identify, right? Then, second essential point, if this you are grasping strongly, right? If this inherent existence self exists, then only 2 points. It should be one with the aggregate or totally separate. And there is no third way to exist this inner existence self. Right? If it's one with the aggregate or totally separate from them. Only 2 ways, right? There is no third way to exist this grasping inner existence self. One with the aggregates, and your body and mind should be one. If it's separate with the aggregate, then what happens? Aggregates are manifold, self is manifold. Only one person, right? Then contemplation. Then when you contemplate something like this, then you have to take the example of coil rope, because it is very difficult, right? Coil rope. Right? This is best analogy recognized, because when coil rope don't time, right, and not very clear, and then your mind project to be snake, and this is created by your mind, right? And then this will cause you fear, all kinds of emotions. But when we really try to find snake apart from the coil rope, there's nothing. All this here, because it's not very clear, don't time, and then you project to a snake, fear, all this emotion arises. But when you really want to find this snake apart from the coil rope, nothing. Similarly, same like we are trying to find this independent existent I among the body and mind. Right? That grasping, holding something independent is like coil rope projection, snake. Grasping mind is mistaken mind, right? So it's project to be inherently, independently exist. But in fact, if we try to find among the body and mind, we will never find this kind of like coil rope. You understand what I'm saying? Then conclusion is you maintain though. Now I identified the object of negation, right? And then now conclusion is, so whenever you no conceptualizing, and fully negate that independent existence, grasping I sees, then not analyzing, stop analyzing and remain your mind with the absence of independent existent mind. So that kind of emptiness is called space-like meditation emptiness. Space-like meditation emptiness. Because space is the best analogy of emptiness. But space is, whenever we speak about space, is absence of obstruction and touch. We speak about space, we cannot see the space. So emptiness is similar, right? We speak about emptiness, we cannot see the emptiness, but we have to experience emptiness through identifying the object of negation. So first we have to make sure not confused with appearance of the inherent existence self. There are many self appears to our mind. We may negate, but that's not genuine inherent existence self. Genuine inherent existence self is innate ego grasping, strongly grasping on the self independently. So that should negate. When it is completely negate, maintain your mind with the conventional self. Then you will not fall into the nihilism. Right? If you negate too much, you think you disappear, right? If you search your body, then you what is part of your body, leg, all this, and then if you keep going further, there's nothing you can find. Right? But that's not something. When we fully negate this inherent existence self, then maintain your mind with the conventional self, which is your own reality, your nature. Then we are in the middle way. We cut the two extremes. We use the king of reasoning. King of reasoning is, there are 5 reasons of the emptiness. Best reason is king of reasoning. The king of reasoning is best reason. Diamond, silver, there are different types of reason for the emptiness. The best reason is king of reasoning. Because king of reasoning cut the two extremes. You understand what I'm saying? So if I use that cup, subject cup, right? It is not inherent existence, then I use logic, dependent arising. So dependent arising, cup, it is not inherent existence because it is dependent arising. So then if I say cup is dependent arising, that means cup is empty of inherent existence. Cup is empty of inherent existence. Cup is empty of inherent existence because it is dependent arising. If it is not empty of inherent existence, it should be independent existence. It's not independent existence. Like cup is, so I use this cup, right? Subject. It is not independent existence because it is dependent origination. So the subject is cup, right? Cup is dependent arising because empty of inherent existence. If cup is not empty of inherent existence, it should be independent existence. But it's not independent existence. It is dependent arising because empty of inherent existence. we have two kinds of mind: general mind and specific mind. Our general mind is ordinary mind, this diluted mind. So through meditation So we have the general mind is ordinary mind. So what we are doing is we have to change that ordinary mind into the pacific mind. Here pacific mind means kind of like virtuous mind, change into the Mayana mind of understanding emptiness, Mayana mind of understanding Bodhicitta mind. You know what I mean? Bodhicitta mind. So general mind is very ordinary mind, which bring all these problems. Through training, we will make this mind into pacific mind, especially Mayana mind of generating Bodhicitta mind, or the mind of generating emptiness mind, transform into the pacific mind. That's the point. Whenever we start to do meditation, right? So we are trying to. One Indian master said first we have to think about this. First we have to contemplate this behavior of our body, speech and mind. Then second, you start with working with the mental delusions. Then third, you have to start with the imprint left by the delusions. Through that way, we have three results. If we maintain our mind with the moral, with our body, speech and mind, that will lead you to the human rebirth. If we work to cut the afflictive emotions, delusion, that will lead you to the nirvana. If we working third step, imprint led by the afflictive emotion, that will lead you to the omniscient enlightened mind. So through that way, we will practice three training. Morality till we train our grosser level of mind. What we are, our actions of body, speech and mind, right? The moral. And then on the basis of this moral training, then you will subside certain level of agitation and like that. Then concentration good. On the basis of good concentration, then you will use wisdom realizing emptiness, which is combined with the calm abiding and spatial unification of the calm abiding and spatial insight. So that's the main point, you know. So general that we have this general mind, which we need to transform into the pacific mind due to the power of the Bodhicitta mind, you know. You may think Bodhicitta mind has no power, but it have lots of power, you know. If you think about, I will read this story in the Jakarta, you know, Buddha's history. In the Jakarta, there is Jakarta tale about little bird in India, you know, little bird that generated Bodhicitta mind during a huge forest in India, you know, because of that fire, you know, many creatures were being burned to death. This bird, you know, overwhelmed by great compassion and generated altruistic Bodhicitta mind and flew to a nearby lake in India, where he dipped his wings into the water, you know, and returning to the forest, he flapped his wing furiously over the fire, you know, over this fire. by the power of this just tiny, holy compassion and altruistic attitude, it is said that those few drops of water, cause the entire forest fire to be extinguished. So Bodhisattva, the mind of this kind of power, if you believe, just like take the example of this little bird, So that's how this understanding emptiness will pacify all our innate grasping and self-grasping, Because if we do not develop emptiness, then we will suffer, If we do not identify true enemy, we will suffer, right? Generally speaking, we have two types of enemy, right? External enemy and internal enemy. Both are our enemy, right? External enemy, internal enemy, doesn't matter which enemy. If you do not stop enemy will become stronger and stronger. External enemy will become stronger and stronger. Inner enemy will become stronger and stronger. Eventually, enemy will dominate you, and it will completely destroy yourself and other. If you do not stop from the beginning or identifying enemy is coming, now I have to stop the enemy. Right? External enemy, internal enemy, both same to harm, but if you do not stop, enemy will become stronger and stronger. But quality of external enemy, internal enemy is totally different. External enemy is we will change that enemy into the friend. We will make friend with the external enemy. We will see many our life beginning we experience friends, enemy, many experience. Enemy, then later friend, then later enemy. So you see, enemy will change to the friend, stranger. But this internal enemy we are talking about, innate grasping, you cannot make friend with this enemy. You know what I mean? If you make friend with this enemy, his situation getting worse and worse. It finally destroy ourselves and destroy others. That's the main point we are going to meditate on emptiness. So then we will realize who is real enemy, Usually we believe enemy is external, but it's not. If there's no internal enemy, no external enemy. Right? This is like, you cannot subject external enemy. Right? In the guide to the Bodhisattva way of life, you cannot cover whole world with the leather. But if you wear the leather shoes, that's exactly the same, But if you subdue this internal enemy, you have no enemy. You know what I mean? So that's the main point. When Lama Tsongkhapa said, it is extremely important we have to negate in an self accurately, clearly, otherwise there are so many appearances in our mind. We may negate something, imagine, or that will not help to understand the real meaning of emptiness of the self. You know what I mean? Yes, thank you very much.